What's going on, people? It's Mr. Door back again with another review show. And yesterday, we have to talk about it. And the Nottingham Forest 2, Bournemouth 3. As you know, I didn't go to the game, but I have watched it. And because Craig was doing it, but because Craig was drinking too much last night, he wasn't well. So I thought I had to watch it all through the 90 minutes and give my opinion on how the game was. People, if you are new to the channel, please do hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and comment below, people. How did you feel about the game? I don't know what to say. People, I said we've got a panel. It's England v Wales today. So we've got. I'll start with the man next to me. Who represents England. Matt, how you doing, Matt?
Much. First time I'm representing England. So yeah, good evening. Sorry for the late appearance. We did a bit of a longer warm up than usual, but that's my fault. I insisted the boys went through their limbing up exercises. So I hope you're in for a good one.
And the people who are representing Wales, Nottingham Forest fans, and the one everyone knows how I feel about the prices, but we had to get him on. A decent price. One below me is Martin Price. How you doing, Martin?
All right, thank you. Good evening. Nice to see you all.
When's the last time you've been on, Martin? On the live show?
Oh, I think it was for the watch-alongs, I think.
Bloody hell, that's since Martin's come on. That is
the watch-along games. Yeah, the watch-along games.
Bloody hell. Martin, I think your missus is behind you.
I got a visitor.
Yeah, what? And next to Martin, we've got the man, another Welshman. We've got Stephen. How you doing, Stephen?
Yeah, I'm good, Ben.
So before I said, people, I said, how you feel about yesterday's game? Like I said, I watched it, but I'm going to get through everyone's opinion as well. People getting comments, how did you feel about the game? Before we do, I've got Kieran. This is 9 months you've been a member. So, Kieran, thank you for being a member. And he's done the super chat as well. Who's late this time? Was it Matt or Walsh, Steve? It was Matt this time. Matt was
it was a long answer to a quick question. And Kieran knows all about the subject matter, so I know why it was a long answer.
So thank you for 1.79 as well. And so this is from Georgia Life. Good evening, Dawn. Last congratulations to your friend's wedding. I hope you're looking forward to the video. Now look to see how hard the division is. Time to knuckle down. People, the vlog, it's going to be out tonight. The vlog is going to be out tonight. So after this, because Craig and Dylan, thank you for them too, did a small vlog. Because I didn't have time yesterday, because as you know, it was Dez's wedding. So shout out to Des and Kay for having a fantastic wedding. And thank you for inviting me to your special day. So people in the comments say thank you. Congratulations to Des as well. Right.
So Ben, I've got to pin you down. Did you do the U-Reds when they said anyone got any objections?
Yes.
You did. You promised me you would. That was my gift to him. So,
dude. I think I was in reception. No, when was that at the end? Exactly. The guy said, "You read?" And I just started. I couldn't hide it. You read? It was a great day. Like I said, well done, Des and Kay, for getting married. Right, let's talk about the game. Oh God, where's your start? Matt, what was the game like in your opinion?
Well, it was horrible, wasn't it? It was a game. It was a nightmare performance on a nightmare occasion, really, wasn't it? I don't really want to talk about the game because these things happen, and I think that's all you can say. And truthfully, last season was a dream season, but we did have 2 or 3 occasions that were similar to that. I forget what it was. It was with someone like Millwall or something like that. There's a couple of games we had where we lost, midweek games, where Cooper seemed out of sorts and all this kind of thing. And I felt the same thing yesterday. I didn't like the first half much, but it was a lot better than the second half. Like I say, I personally, I don't like to talk about it. Let's move on. That's my attitude to it. Sure, I don't know. I'm somewhat flabbergasted. I'm surprised he didn't make changes. I was slightly surprised with the changes he made to start with. People like Lewis O'Brien, you imagine, would have done as much as anyone to start the game. Maybe he's carrying a knock, maybe there's some other reason, but I don't know. But my main thing is, it's like we're focusing on the wrong thing, even talking about the game, because Cooper has got the biggest jigsaw puzzle, the biggest problem, the biggest conundrum in football history. A club as big as us, who's been out of the top flight for so long, coming back and then having the option to kind of keep the same foundations, keep the basis of the same team, but the ownership and him possibly have said, no, we've got to upgrade this whole thing. Let's knock the whole thing down. Let's build stronger foundations. Hopefully that's what they're trying to do. But we're going to buy a whole new squad virtually and start from scratch. And it's a massive job to do. None of them hardly have played in this league before. None of them know each other yet at all. He doesn't know his players. You know, it's just a huge, huge, massive job in the most high-level sporting environment on earth. And we're expecting just it to be smooth. You know, it's never gonna be. Overall, I think we've done quite well so far. But yesterday was catastrophic, and it was just one of those horrible days. So, you know, let the others talk more about the game, because I don't like to think about it really.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you at all. Well, Steve, like I said, everyone's been questioning about the lineup, what Cooper does. Like everyone's saying, we're not playing a striker in Dennis or Tyler Wadney. We're playing like Brennan's not a striker. Morgan Gibbs-White's not a striker. Do you think Cooper got the right lineup yesterday?
No. Like Matt said, the starting lineup was a bit of a head scratch for me. How can you drop Lewis O'Brien? I think he's been our best player so far, or one of the best. I said it in a vlog a few vlogs ago that he's been our best signing. I think of all the superstars who signed, I think he's one of the better ones. Again, he's going back to what he knew in Worrell, Cook, and McKenna. I'm sure we'll get to them soon enough. But obviously, Toffolo's been dropped for the new boy. But yeah, again, going with them front three, it did work against Spurs. But that result yesterday was just horrible. Horrible result. You know, the games we've got to be winning at this level. You know, in the Championship, when anyone can beat anyone, you get to, you know, okay. But Premier League, you've got to win them games.
What's your opinion, Mark?
Hard result to take.
What's your opinion, Martin, on it? Like I said, when I saw the lineup, I thought to myself, like I said, Matt and Steve's mentioned O'Brien, that he was dropped for Canute. I know Canute scored, but what was your opinion about the lineup, Martin?
Well, I can't understand why we're not playing a striker to start with, an out-and-out striker up front. Like I said, he changed the midfield yesterday, and obviously it didn't work. He had a pretty good game from what I saw. But again, why, like I said, like Steve said, why drop O'Brien when he's been playing so well for us? I don't know what is with Brennan. He just doesn't seem on the pace at the moment. He's had his moments in games, but I don't know.
I think this level they're doubling up on Johnson. I think
that's what I was thinking. Because like I don't want to criticize him. I don't want to criticize Brennan, like I said, because before the season started, everyone said Brennan's the man. He's a young man striker, and they are doubling up on him because he's so talented. And we got Morgan Gibbs-White, we got Lingard as well, front three. But like I said, I was watching the game as well today, and it's difficult for him. But I think he needs to get used to this league. I think he will. He's still 20 years old. He's
still taking time, isn't it?
He's still taking time. But I think people like we'll talk about Jesse Lingard later on, and we see on social media, and again, I think Steve touched on it. The Cooper's having the same back four from the Championship, like Worrell, Cook, and McKenna. What's your opinion as well? People in the comments as well. What's your opinion? Do you think Cooper just swap one of them? What's your opinion, Matt, on it?
Niakate is a huge loss, I think, because I think for the blend of the defence, he's got more sort of pace. He's the kind of guy that can go with players, have 2 or 3 bites of the cherry, a little bit like old Cashy used to do. You know, and when you miss something, you can come back and have a second go. I think Niakate we've really missed, which hasn't helped. you don't like to mess with your defence. It's like goalkeepers, or it's the next thing to goalkeepers. And I feel kind of sorry for goalkeepers, especially, and defenders to some extent as well. Because if you're not the one picked, you might never play. So, you know, you don't like messing about with your defence. You can't. People get hysterical about Scott McKenna. It's unbelievable how the most consistent footballer you could ever dream of, people get upset when he does one thing wrong. You know, you know, people have been born and died since he last made a mistake. And Worrell, you know, he's the captain, he's the heartbeat of the team. He hasn't played badly. He's had a few moments, but they all have. Look, there's no one playing well. You know, I agree with you. I tend to agree with you. Lewis O'Brien is probably, you know, can be more satisfied than just about anyone with what he's done in the Premier League so far, because he was someone you would have thought is a championship player, if anything, out of all of them. You just said, well, he might struggle almost compared to almost anyone. And he's progressed and you know, adapted really well, I think. So I think it's, you win as a team, you lose as a team. And I think that if everyone struggled, you know, it's like last season, we said everyone was playing up to their full potential. There was incredible togetherness. It's the opposite now. They're all this, you know, it's kind of like, there were some aspects yesterday, it was kind of like the old Houghton days. Now, I'm not saying, well, it's anything like that at all, but Cooper hasn't been able to do his magic, has he? He hasn't got that team together. He hasn't got that togetherness. He hasn't got that understanding. He hasn't got that confidence. Quite the opposite. I feel like we've had every bit of, I don't want to say bad luck, because it's not bad luck, but we've taken every punch going right on the chip. You know, it's like the Lee Woods. You know, every punch going, you're eating them at the moment. You know, the early goals we've conceded. You know, everything just seems to, you know, the deflections that just haven't quite worked out. So I just think we need time, but time is a precious commodity. And really, they've got to regroup, put this out of their mind. They're all good enough. It's never a solution to just give credit to people you've only just signed, whose name you can't pronounce, just because they're different to the guy you've had, who's finally made a mistake after a year and a half or something like that. That's not the answer. You know, you've got to get the whole team dynamic right. And Cooper can do it, but everything's on Cooper. There's an incredible amount of pressure on him. And the last thing he needs is more pressure. Yeah, you know, if he snaps, the whole thing falls apart. He's the middle of this wheel we're trying to roll us up a few rungs up the ladder. It's a massive challenge. You know, all these people say, oh, reality check. Well, who are you kidding? You know, none of these players, well, there's a few, but most of them aren't really proven in the Premier League. You know, they're all young players trying to make names for themselves, and they all can. I really think they all can, but only when the whole team works.
Before I get Stephen, I'll tell you, I'm looking for the comments, people, so I'm not ignoring you at all. And this is Mr. Killer, it's 7. Too much criticism on Wall, in my view. He's had a good game against Spurs. He still has to get used to the league. He has to. I'm going to ask Stephen this question in a minute. I'll look for this one. Good evening, last time for the rest to knuckle down. We haven't got a designated team, which is making us seem like we're all over the place. This is from Paul. We all learn in the league, may get worse before getting better. Got to hang in 100%. Zooming through the comments as well. Sorry. Right, so I'm going to ask you, Stephen. Like I said, everyone's on social media, everyone sees it on Twitter. And again, and I think this annoys me a lot, man. It's always the same players. I remember we had it with Matty Cash, we had it with Osborne, we had it with Ben Brereton, and yet again, it's always the same players in Worrell, Ryan Yates, Brennan Johnson. It's always the same old 3 players, and academy players as well. That's getting criticised every single time. Do you, Stephen, in your opinion, and people in the comments as well, get involved. Do you think? Me personally, I don't think it's right. But what's your opinion on the whole situation on that? What, Steve?
Yeah, the Worrell one, I'm sitting on the fence at the moment. My opinion on Worrell at this level. I've seen games like the Spurs game. I think, yeah, we've got the old Worrell back, and other games I'm seeing he's getting exposed. I don't know what it is. I don't know if his positioning is he's getting out muscled. I know we're comparing him against players like Haaland and players like that, but for me, Worrell just hasn't maybe grasped. That's my opinion, right or wrong.
It's fine. It's fine.
It's my opinion. I think Worrell's quite there yet. Yates is taking a bit of a slating for yesterday as well. But again,
He always
Ryan
does
Yates-
though. That's the problem.
Yeah,
He's always.
I just love the way he plays. Or he's really grown on me, Yates, in the last year and a half. You know, he's just so passionate. I generally think we did miss him against Newcastle away in the first game of the season, and he wouldn't make a massive difference. I'm just saying we just lacked that fiery, in your face kind of player. He's a nuisance as well in our midfield. It's just who you put with him. It's always that dilemma: who do you put next to Ryan Yates? Johnson, like we've touched on earlier, again, I'm sure he'll get there. Maybe playing with an out-and-out striker will benefit him more, but the Worrell one does worry me a bit. I just can't put my finger on it. He does worry me a bit. And going back to the back line, if you are going to play Cook, you're going to have to play someone with pace next to him. Be a Niakate when he's fit, or this. I think we should see this be a corner a bit more. He's got something about him as well, what I've seen of him. He's got pace. And this other French lad we've signed as well, apparently he's got plenty of pace. So at the moment, I think our back line do lack some pace. We are getting exposed. But that's my opinion anyway on them boys.
Obviously, what I said, we spoke about defence and we spoke about Johnson as well. I know we're talking about Dennis, we talk about Tyler Wanley. I mean, you mentioned Sam Sturridge, like he wasn't even on the bench either as well today. And the problem, and we've always said it's a good problem to have for Cooper to have these good players around. They are good players. It's just all the whole 21 players that we are. It is going to take time. What do you think, Martin? Do you think Cooper should have played one like Dennis or Ty Wanley just to help Brennan out? Because I know we've got Morgan Gibbs-White. Morgan Gibbs-White can play at number 10. Lingard can play at number 10 as well. But it's just the issue is, and I saw it as well, it's scoring goals. We've got to score goals to win games. Yeah. And what would you be your front three if you had your choice? As well, people in the comments as well get involved as well. So what would you play, Tyler Wanley or Dennis?
I'd have either of them up front to start, even if two of them are up there. But at least have one of them, and then we've got Gibbs-White, obviously Brennan and Lingard there as well. Play two of them three as well. Do you know what I mean? Just to supply that ball to the front man to get chances of goal. The thing is, we've had loads of chances this season. We just haven't taken them. We've had a good couple of chances we could have scored, and the game would be totally different. And we'd be in a different position now. We're in. But yesterday we was exposed for some reason in our second half, and I think it's just knocked the stuffing out of them a bit. I don't know if it's because of the Man City game in midweek, but you can't expect them to go there and win anyway. Really, that would have been a massive ask us to win there. You can get a point because they were so good.
But don't you think, really, as a team, I personally think that most of the time, until the last couple of games, defence has functioned reasonably adequately. But going forward, I would say we're like 25 or 30% of what I think we're capable of. We haven't produced much pass. Some of the best passing was Mangala and O'Brien, wasn't it, and stuff like that.
Yeah,
it has worked in spells. But there's been very little. There was bits early on, all throughout the Spurs game with those front three. So it kind of can work, but it hasn't worked consistently.
No.
I personally, like the thing that was horrible yesterday was kind of all three parts of the team misfired and none of it was functioning and the whole thing was all over the shop. Like sort of, I don't know, a two-legged donkey or something like that. So,
Mark, first off, like I said, I think those game people, like I said, Matt did. First off, was we good or was the two goals just?
I tweeted at half time that the midfield wasn't the right balance. It wasn't functioning.
Yeah.
By comparison, it was, but I just didn't feel like it was right. I didn't feel like it was connecting and it was happening. And I thought often matches are like that. They start and they're shut, especially at home. You're bright and you create stuff. But then you kind of tend to sort of lose your way and the fizz goes and things settle down and often you get ground out. So I wasn't convinced in the first half. And I thought we were kind of very lucky to be 2-0 up, really. Although we were as good as them, it was fine. But I was thinking we need to get a third because I thought, if they got one, as they did very rapidly in the second half, that was exactly what we didn't want. Worrell, Yates, Brennan, all those guys, all these fans who come on and say, "Oh, they're not trying," and who are they kidding? These guys, they do it 9 to 5. They live it. They're fans as well. They care more than anyone,
100%.
and they know better than anyone
They've made
a mistake.
That's my point. Because you know, right, honestly, right, before I get Stephen on, my problem is, right, like I said, like everyone said, like I said, I mentioned when we had Matty Cash, when we had Osborne, Barberton, and the usual youngsters, they were always getting slated. Everyone knows how Ryan Yates was. Everyone absolutely destroyed him, absolutely annihilated him. And now we're in the Premier League. Fans of like him, they need to get getting used to it, getting used to the Premier League, and it's always going to be the same old fans. And I know there's quite a lot of them. Like everyone, listen to me. Like, everyone can have their opinion. It's not a problem. Everyone has their opinion about.
Keep it to yourself sometimes. When it's going to do no good, keep it to yourself.
And let's keep it real. I know quite a lot of players that are not on Twitter look at the comments, and they all look. And the problem is,
in a
like I said,
roundabout way, they get it back. Go on, Karen. Sorry, Ben.
Sorry, no, it's all right. It winds me up. Like I said, people saying, "Oh, Cooper's like." I'm not saying everyone is. I'm not saying everyone is saying Cooper out because I've seen maybe 5% of it. 5% saying Cooper out, but people saying, and Cooper said it himself. He got it wrong, and the book starts with him. And we've got another 7-8 days to focus what he's going to do against Leeds United, because Leeds United got another massive game, people. So, Stephen, I was still saying to Matt, like the first half was great. Second half, it just crumbled. People in the comments as well, how did you feel about the second half? I know when Craig came, quite a lot, all of them came after Des' wedding. So it was awful. How awful was it? How awful was it? I saw the game, but it was shocking. But what was your opinion?
The first half was only a 5 or a 6, though, wasn't it? I thought.
Yeah.
Again, just them mistakes. You know, like we touched on McKenna, like to give away that third goal. That's not McKenna. He would have booted that into row Z. But I think the reason why he tried to keep them in play is because he was 2-2. He tried to keep the ball active and try and pass it back. If we were 2-0 up or 2-1, he may have gone for that safety option. But again, like Matt said in the beginning, McKenna is only human. And when he does a mistake like that, we're all just like, what's he doing? But at the end of the day, these things happen. But we just got punished. And even at Bournemouth level, we get punished. You know, and a really interesting comment I've just seen there. We've lost 5 points after the 85th minute so far this season. You know, just a stupid long ball goal against Everton. You know, the Spurs game, we could have got something out of, which we should have. If Rainier's taken that header, then we'd win 1-1. You just wouldn't know what happened after that. The game yesterday, we had in the palm of our hand, and we just let Bournemouth onto us. And, you know, okay, the first goal is a good finish, but then we just lost the ball in midfield, bang. Second goal, for some reason, these players, like Solanke's, they just look like world beaters against us sometimes. And, you know, he does that scissors kick or what he did, and it just goes in. But we're just getting punished at the moment. And like Martin said, we're not getting clinical at the moment. You know, we got to get that edge up front. We got to find it soon, because if we're giving goals away, we got to start scoring them. You know, that's the thing. We got to be in games.
I'll ask you, Martin. Like I said, losing to Bournemouth fans, it was a 6-pointer as well against Bournemouth. And let's keep it real. Like we're in the Premier League. We're in the Premier League, people. And I saw a comment. It was 2 daft comments, and saying, "I wish was back in the Championship now." And I also thought, "What?" I was like, "What?"
But in a way, if that's your mindset, that's what you want. You know, go back to the Championship. If you want to win every week, don't get promoted. You know, this is a different level, and it's going to take time. You need more patience, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And someone said to me, it wasn't. And some people do a tongue-in-cheek message on Twitter, and it wasn't a tongue-in-cheek, because it said, we're going to lose every single game. But as Forest fans, it's been 23 years, and I don't know who said it. we're going to have more downs, which I think it was Matt. We're going to have more downs than ups this season. And we are, because last season it was just a season that we will never, ever forget. And this season we're going to get battered. And yes, Bournemouth, we should be winning games. And there's no easy games, people. Right, there's 206 people in. Thank you very much, everyone that's took part watching this as well. If you don't know, I'm Mr. Dore. Next to me, there's Matt. Below me, we've got the Welsh people, Mr. Price and Mr. Stephen from Wales. So it's England. It's England for Welsh people. And as well, the people in the comments, where are you watching this podcast as well? I'd love to know where you're from. And as well, hit the like button as well. I'm on 27 likes if you can. If you get them to 100 likes before the stream is done. Matt, let me ask you, Martin. Where do we go from here? Because like I said, it was a poor result.
Well, we just need to dust ourselves off, don't we? And get ready for the next game. That's all we can do, really. You know, like I said, that game Saturday was a 6-pointer, and we lost it. These things happen. The fans can't expect us to win every game, or even the games look easy, because there is no easy games in our league. We've moved up 3 levels, in effect, coming to the Premiership, and all the players in now, they got to get used to it, and they got to gel as well. So it's going to take a bit of time. But there's no point getting too downhearted, because we're only 6 games in. Remember this time last year, we only had a point at the bottom of the Championship, mind. So the improvement has been massive, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Like I said, Cooper said he got it wrong on Saturday. Fair play to him. He's got it wrong. So he's going to have a good, obviously, he'll have good thinking over the next few days about what team he's going to put out and how they're going to perform. So
I just got to say one thing. I think the one thing we got to remember, though, the main difference between the Championship and the Premier League, right, is in the Championship, what was it saying? Anyone can beat anyone on a given day. Even when we went up against Rotherham and Barnsley, we thought, us as fans think this is a home banker. But how many times we were let down?
Yeah.
In the Premier League now, when we play anyone below the top 6, we have to target that game. And that's how bread and butter now. Not like the Championship where like anyone can beat anyone, like a freak league. This league, we have to target Bournemouth, Villa, these teams, Leicester, Leeds, Brentford's. We got to target them games. And that result yesterday was horrendous. Hideous result for us. That's terrible, because now, and I said when they sacked Scott Parker, right, that was the worst thing that happened, because every time they have a bounce back, and I knew, why couldn't they keep him in till yesterday and then sack him? It happens every time. And they've had a clean sheet against Wolves, and they come to us now, and they're on cloud 9 now after being spanked literally 9 last week as well by Liverpool, and we've just made them look like Barcelona.
Well, and we gave them the perfect encouragement, didn't we? 2-0 at half-time. Yeah. What are you going to do? You're going to do something, aren't you? You're not just going to roll over and carry on the same. So, normally it's nice to score a second goal just before half-time, or a goal at all. But no, it should be our easiest game of the season. So, yeah, logically, if you lose at home, your easiest game of the season, we're not going to get a point. But hello, we've got 4 already. It doesn't work like that.
No, I was the advocate, right? I've been saying all along that once we got past that Spurs and Man City back-to-back games, our season's reset for these next run of games until we play whatever it is. I haven't really looked at the fixture.
The international break. Yeah.
And then after that, then we go into that break and so on.
Then we rebuild again and sort it out
these
again.
Run of games, we can't use the excuse now we've got the likes of Spurs, Man City. We have to beat these teams.
Absolutely.
Before I get the next super chat, I've got another super chat, and this is from Forest. And shout out to Forest, and don't panic, we are still Premier League, baby. And like I said, I know, like I said, we're in the Premier League. I remember the first 6 games of last season, it was a toxic place. I'm not saying we're toxic now, but we've got to, as Forest fans, we've got to adjust. Some Forest fans think, we're going to get top 6 because all the 21 players that we've got, they are good players. It will take time for Cooper to find the right people, the right players to fit, because we've got so many players. But
you can be. I'm all for winning every game. Let's get into the top 6, but you don't have to be an idiot when you lose. You just say that's one game. It's one game this season. We'll just have to win another one to make up for it that we're planning on losing. You don't have to enter into that madness. And all of us like to think, whether we just turn up on a Saturday and shout or sing Mulligan Tyre, that we're helping the team in a little bit. And I think right now it's so important for the Forest fans at home. It's like an extra player. It really is. Out of the whole league, we've probably potentially got more influence than any other fan base in the league. And it's really important we don't enter into all this sort of negative shit and start fighting at the end of all this kind of crap. We've done it. To be fair, we've done it, but it mustn't start. And we don't tag players, and we don't get inside their heads. I hate it. If I ever see them, I hate saying like good luck or anything that I think might jinx it or make them in any way think anything negative that might affect their performance, to chip in. Like a friend of mine was telling me about Andy Reid when he was injured. He used to hate going to the games because every bastard in the ground would ask him, when you're coming back, from his injury, and he never came back. So it's like the most depressing thing. The guy's going to kill himself with 20,000 people asking, when are you coming back? When are you coming back? So everyone's got to realise, well, we do all have a little influence, whether it's just a little bit or a little bit more. And we've all got to be positive. We've all got to get behind them. We've got to be the 12th man at home every single time and away. We can have an influence over them. We can't be negative about it because we're only going to be hurting them.
100%. I just saw a comment on this from Nick, and like I said, I listened to Cooper's interview after the game, and Cooper does not hide behind any excuses at all. I think it's 1,000%, and this is why I love about Cooper, because he's honest, he's up front. He says how he said it. I know some managers like to be media trained and don't try and dodge the question, but I think when Cooper first come to the club, like I said, I was lucky enough to go to a surprise thing, and I was there, and he was brilliant, honest, and his job was to get Forest Perch, and look, we are in the Premier League, and we've got to suck it all up, because, like I said, we're gonna have more downs and ups. We know social media is a bad place when Forest lose. I saw it all yesterday, and everything and all that, but it is what it is. Right, I've got another super chat, and this is from Lenny. We are not going down, trust me. Thank you for the £5, Lenny. That's you, Stephen. So we've got a massive game against Leeds next week, and people in the comments as well. Like I said, I'm not trying to say change everything. I'm not saying that. What positions would you change, Stephen, for this game?
Oh.
But it's a tough one. I've got so many players. That's a problem. I've got so many players.
I'd most definitely start Dennis. There's something about him I like. He's just busy. He's very skillful. We just need something different up top. Like Martin said in the beginning, I'd start Dennis up top. The back line, again, it's such a hard dilemma to have. Do you drop Cook and then put this new boy in, this French boy? Do you put Bolly in for maybe McKenna or Worrell, but then you can't drop... Well, can you drop Worrell because he's captain? Again, I wouldn't. Because I still want to give Worrell hope that he can get at this level, see. I want it to work for him. I really do, because I love Worrell. Like I said, I wouldn't mind giving this Bacone a chance. It's just something I like about him. Again, I think we just need pace, because Leeds are very... they got some quick players, and they Leeds. They got some really shifty players up top, especially. They just constantly move off the ball, so we're going to have to be real on it. I'd definitely put O'Brien back in midfield, 100%. And I think, probably put O'Brien back in for Kwate. Will Ryan Yates possibly hold his place? Don't know. Will Lingard? He won't drop Gibbs White.
And that's another topic I want to say. I'm about to ask Martin and ask Matt. The Lingard situation, everyone spoke about him. Me personally, we've not saw the best out of him. No. People in the comments as well, get involved with this one. What does everyone think about Jesse Lingard so far? Martin, let me start with you.
He's not performing to the level I thought he would be, to be honest with you. I thought he'd be doing more. Then again, he's playing with a new team, but I don't know. He's not quite making that final link yet. So I'm on the fence with him at the moment. I know he can play better than what he is, so I don't know.
What about you, Matt?
I saw just a comment quickly about Worrell saying no room for sentiment. He'd agree. I think absolutely. I think Joe Royle would be the first guy, if he thought we'd do better as a team, he'd be the first guy to step down if him stepping down was going to help us. He wants us to win more than anyone. So personally, I don't know. It's a difficult question. I don't feel like I know anything about any of these players, how they can perform at this level together at this point. And I think it's really unfair almost to favour anyone over anyone else at the moment. I think it's more to do with the whole thing. As always, it's all about the team. It's not about individuals. It's getting the whole team working. It hasn't worked so far. Chopping and changing isn't necessarily going to work. It's kind of based on nothing. I think, like I said, Niakate is a big miss, and him with Joe and with Scott is a good defence. And the fullbacks now, you've got a blinking Brazilian international, you've got incredible goalkeepers who is actually, maybe I've forgotten old Dino, but he's the best player in the league, apparently. He was until yesterday. So, he's okay. And Nico's showing he's got something as well. So, I don't know. I would pick a centre forward myself, and I would pick midfielders that can work together. I would try and get more ball players, and Mangala's going to be back, and I would pick Mangala and O'Brien in midfield for sure, and then make the rest of it work around that.
100%. It's a weird one. Like I said, we've got so many midfielders. Like I said, we've got Mangala, O'Brien, Yates, Fowler.
I really feel like poor old Yatesy yesterday was kind of almost hung out to dry. He's a confidence. He was so. I was never his biggest fan, as you remember previously, but he's been sensational last season, and even this season in his first games, I thought he was really good and he worked. But yesterday, I thought the formation kind of killed him, and he was hiding from the ball. He didn't want it, and the whole midfield was vacant. And we need someone who can come back, collect the ball, and that's why I think Mangala. We have to steady the ship first. We're not looking for our best team. We just need to steady the ship, get some confidence, get some time, get a few points, and start building. But we have to win these points. Like I say, these points are really important as well. So we can't. We've got to win. People are saying we're going to get 11 points out of the next 15 before yesterday. Now we're going to have to win every game virtually to get near that. So you've got to win four games on the trot. It's going to be really tough. Yesterday was one everyone assumed we're definitely going to get.
100%. Well, I'm changing the subject a little bit, and we know everyone's talking about Cuba's contract, Marinakis, and all that. We all know that Marinakis. I think I don't know if everyone saw the Athletic. I've read it. I think it was Daniel Taylor, and Marinakis said he wants a top 6. The other board think mid-table. I'm going to ask you, Walsh, but Steve, do you think, like I said, if this carries on the form, like I said, me personally, I want Cooper to stay on the whole season and stay longer. But we know these Greeks don't mess around. They don't mess around. So what's your opinion on, do you think Marinakis is going to say, this can't stay for long because we know we can pull the trigger?
Well, I think I would like to say and think that 99.9% of Forest fans want it to work for Cooper.
Yeah.
The way he's taken us, to see us out, sign a contract and take us to the next level. In reality, we all know in these next run of games, in a worst case scenario, if we don't get any wins at all, what's the reality of football now? You pull the trigger. And that's the unfortunate thing.
But you're pulling the trigger like that if you sack Cooper, as far as I'm concerned. Who are you going to pick?
I agree with him, Matt.
You name a manager that any of us would swap for Cooper, even after tomorrow. There isn't one.
I
wouldn't give you. It's suicide.
But Matt, all his five. I'm saying, like me personally, I don't want people thinking I want Cooper because I love Cooper to bits. And what he has done to our club, like I say, it took 23 years for this man to get us to the place that we want to be. And yes, we're not playing great, but we're in the Premier League. If he was in the Championship, right, he would have been gone. He would have been gone, and that's what it is. Yeah. But we're in the Premier League. He's the man that got us to the Premier League. And
look how long we kept shooting. I'd have sacked Houghton before the end of the season, before the one that started.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So, you know, come
But
on,
you
if
gotta
a little bit of that jar of patience is left, then Cooper should be here for about the next 6 years at that rate.
Yeah. Unfortunately, though, when you give someone a large bag of money and to spend, they want the rewards back, and that goes for any owner who dips into their pocket.
Well, like so people do is.
But let's not open that door even a little bit. Let's give our owners let's credit them with some sense. Let's say we believe they know what they're doing, and if they do, they will stand by Cooper, because they are the ones who've dealt in these cards. They've dealt in the hardest cards in football.
It's not cool. Yeah,
they should know that. If they think this is an easy job, they don't know what they're doing. They've given him the hardest job. There isn't been a harder job in football. Now give him a chance to do it. You know, if they'd said we keep the team together, you know, and given him everything how he wanted it, different story maybe, but it's still going to be difficult. But they've said, look, we think we have to rebuild. We're going to get all these players for you, and you've got to be the guy to put it together. It's a difficult job. It's like building a house by yourself, but you're going to have to learn all these trades and do it all yourself. They've got to give him time, and they've got to have common sense. There's no one else is better qualified to do this job. It's a crazy job. You're going to get another manager that hasn't wanted any of these players to come in and try and do it. There's no one as good, and there's no one as good a fit. So you keep him. You keep him this whole season, and you keep him next season. If we if we get relegated and next season we lose 10 games on the trot, fair enough. But he'll be better this season than Houghton was the season they gave him. They let him start the next one. I guarantee you that. So you keep him. And we don't even enter into that madness, I don't think. We keep telling them, you're clever people, you guys at the top. You know Cooper's good, and you don't forget it.
I just saw a comment from Lee Tilson. Hey, I do, Lee. Mamanakis is actually quite patient with Lamucci and Chris Houghton. He was. He was. Like I said, people need to remember what Steve Cooper has done for this club and for the fans as well. It's something that Mamanakis, like I said, Mamanakis had no choice. He had no choice to get his players because Cooper's the man that's done it, got us in the Premier League, and now, like I said, we lost to Man City 6-0. Well, I prefer to lose to Man City 6-0 than lose to Stoke 1-0 away.
That's nothing to be embarrassed about losing Man City.
Or beat them 6-0.
It wasn't embarrassing. Like I said, I went to the game. If you not saw the vlog, Haaland was amazing. But I prefer to see Haaland play and then see who can I see for, I don't know, Luton striker. No disrespect to Luton. I don't know who they got up front. Or
that's not totally.
You can even mention Derby County. Derby County in League One. I prefer to play Man City than Derby. Yeah, they are rivals.
Yeah, we were playing them last year, weren't we? So hello.
Yeah, the thing is, yesterday though, it hurt. I think what's hurting the fans more yesterday. I think for that 90 minutes and coming out of it, we've just slightly forgot we were still in the Premier League. I think because we're still fresh and what Bournemouth did the last but one game to go up a second, that's still a bit sour in our mouths. I think yesterday for that split second, coming up the Man City game, you're like, and I agree with you, Ben. Yes, I'd rather see us get spanked by Man City and lose to Stoke away. But yesterday hurt more because for that split second we thought, oh, do you know what? This reminds us of the Championship. We're playing Bournemouth. This is not the Premier League, but it is the Premier League. And Bournemouth have earned the right to be there just like us. But we haven't been there for so long. We've been starved of it. We just got to sit back and remember where we are now. This time
we've got to be humble. We've got to be humble about the whole experience. We've got to enjoy it.
We were losing home to Middlesbrough and Blackburn and teams like that. But now, we're losing to Bournemouth. But again, they're in the Premier League along with us. So they can't be no mugs. They just be looking at it from, we should be beating these teams because they should be where we're taking the points. It's just when we play the likes of Man City, Spurs, Liverpool's, yes, they are that step up. But of course they are. They've spent millions and billions of pounds on their team over a 10-year period.
In 3 years' time, we stay in this league. 3 years' time, we can compete with the top half of the table. We can't compete now. We're underdogs all the time. We're going to be.
Look, Matt, right? There's established Premier League sides going to Man City and still getting beaten 5-6.
Yeah, of course they are. Yeah.
So there's no shame. Yeah, and people look at it, you've lost 3 home to Bournemouth. Okay, there's a bit of shame in that. But again, we are still in the Premier League. We're not playing.
how are we going to beat these teams? We're going to beat these teams with the support at home. We're going to beat these teams with a fantastic manager. We're going to beat these teams with team spirit. We're not going to beat them because we've just spent more money and we've got Haaland playing up front. We're not going to beat them that way. That's how they're going to beat us. We've got to be better than them in the things that money can't buy. And that's what we've got to remember. We've got to be patient. We've got to believe in ourselves. Because all this is so mental, I think. As soon as we start believing we're cannon fodder and we can't win, whether it's the fans or the players or the manager, that's when you never will win. As soon as we feel the pressure, that's when we won't be able to perform. We've got to take the pressure off Cooper more than anyone. Let him do his job. Take the pressure off the players. Let them play football. Then maybe they'll start to play and then it'll get easy. You don't go the other way and everything becomes more difficult.
And do you know what, right? There's fans out there. If we go on a run now for the next 6 games, unbeaten, saying 6, we beat Leeds away, beat Fulham. There'll still be fans up there going, "Oh, that Bournemouth game, we should have taken that." Forget that. It's done. You know, we beat Leeds now next week. Bournemouth game, be forgotten about then. You can cancel it out, you know.
Yeah. But in a way, I buy into that though. Every game is just as important. And you can't even, you try and win every single point and you don't care where it takes you until the end of the season. And then you find out. You just take it's the old cliche, it's the oldest cliche in the book, isn't it? You just take every game one at a time and just move on to the next one.
100%. I've done a poll, people, and as well, I'm to the panel as well. I think I know everyone's answer, but if there's any people in the comments think Steve Cooper should go, put in the comments, do you think he should go? Me personally, I want him to stay for a long time. But I think it was as Stephen mentioned, this Premier League, it's going to be tough. What's the longest manager in the Premier League so far? I think it's Klopp, the Brighton manager. These managers come and go. But people in the comments, what do you think? Do you think if there's any people that think Steve Cooper should go, put your thumbs up. If you don't, put your thumbs down. So, no, put your thumbs down. Cooper goes, if you want to go, thumbs up, you want to stay.
That could get a tragic result. He gets the sack because he's seen thousands of thumbs up, down.
Exactly. Right. Let me start with you, Martin Price. Like I said, do you think Cooper is the man to stay to keep us up?
I want him to stay till the end of his contract, plus the new one he's signed. In my opinion, he's the only man there who can keep us in this league.
100%.
He's got a talent. He knows how to play teams. All right, he made a mistake yesterday. There you are. But he's the man for us. There's nobody I can think of who could come in and replace him. He's done a fantastic job last season. We were dog shite, weren't we, for the first month or so? And then he got us promoted.
And if we sacked Cooper, someone who's done such a fantastic job that the whole of football knows, what football manager worth their salt would come here?
Exactly.
If you're going to sack someone 5 minutes after performing miracles like that, we're better than that. We've got to be a club where players want to come because we've got great fans, we've got a great structure. Most of all, we've got a great manager. There's probably not a manager, apart from like the likes of Klopp and Pep and those kind of guys. Yeah. Cooper, footballers want to play for Cooper.
Yeah.
And it's our best chance. Yeah. It's the X factor for us. It's the X factor. It's priceless.
This season's all about staying up. It doesn't matter where we finish as long as we stay up. That's 100%. All that matters this season. Establish ourselves this season. And then push on next season.
I don't think Cooper is Cooper right now because he's under pressure, isn't he? That's I think almost you could say that's our biggest problem. Cooper isn't being able to do Cooper things at the moment because he's got all these players he hasn't been able to work his magic on. And he's under such incredible stress. We've got to try and give Cooper the chance to be Cooper, get it right. We know he will. But even Cooper last season had bad games, and I think we had one of them yesterday anyway, on top of that. So just don't get carried away, people, for Christ's sake.
Even Man City and Liverpool have bad games.
Of course they do. Yeah, the greatest managers, they look at Mourinho against Klopp or something, or Ferguson, and they say, oh, why didn't they do this and why didn't they do that? And they got beaten. It happens. It happens.
Yeah, of course they do. That's football.
It is.
Yeah. I've got where's that comment from Mrs. Lisa Howard, Derby County fan. How you doing, Lisa? How's League One, my friend? How's League One?
Are they winning?
Lisa, you can't comment because you lot done the same thing to us. You 2-0 up and you lost 3-2. But Lisa, I hope you're well, Lisa. You lot are creative. He's a great manager. You have a new squad, and it takes time. You won't go down, but Leicester will. Lisa, why are you mentioning that club? We don't care about them. We only hate you, Lisa. We don't hate. What it is. Shout out to Lisa. I hope you're well, Lisa, and I hope you're having fun in League. Hope you're fun in League One.
Can I say one quick thing? You talking about the Cooper thing, and you being irreplaceable and stuff. It's weird though because you've got the likes of Leicester now, Villa, even Frank Lampard. He's still not 100% safe. If you probably ask a lot of these fans, if they were going on a run like this, they'd be like, get rid of Rodgers, get rid of Gerrard. So in their minds, they think that there's far better choice out there. So it shows how Cooper is in our hearts that we want to keep this guy. We want it to work. Where I bet there's a lot of Leicester fans, Villa fans, they want rid. They can't see the club going anywhere. The tactics are poor. Like there were signs in the Leicester game today, Rodgers out and all that. They've got their own problems. There's other clubs. Will it work out for that Leeds manager over time? Time will tell. So, I mean, we got to keep out to this guy because we just know what's going to happen. And one day Cooper is going to go on to the next level, I feel. I think he's a future international manager, being for Wales or England. I think when, you never know.
Wales. No.
Ben, we signed off the squad anyway. So
Were you biased?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So I mean, we just this is the best manager we've had, which you've discussed many times on this channel since Billy Davis. We've got to keep out of him because we don't want him to go on to another club and then just see him skyrocket that club. We've got to build this club around Cooper. We've got to make this work.
There is a time with managers where you need to change managers, but the players need a new voice and a manager. I mean, like Sean Dyche, for example, you could say he got to that stage, he'd done such a great job, and there comes a point where you think, okay, time to move on. You can't go on forever and ever. But Cooper does not apply one bit at the moment because apart from anything else, he's got a completely new team. He's got a completely new project. He hasn't had 5 minutes with this lot. So that doesn't apply at all. Yeah, 5 years down the line, the great thing I think we've done is we have thrown all the bits of the jigsaw up in the air and now he's got to put them together. We're starting afresh. We've got a lot of young players on 3, 4, 5 year contracts and he's going to be working with them, I hope, for the next 2-3 years. They're his players and we're going to get better. This is the worst we're ever going to be, isn't it? By any measure. We're not going to be worse than this, are we? How can we be? We can't let ourselves, and we won't be. So I think that's the main thing you've got to think is we're going to be better than this. So just calm down.
I know how short memories we get. Only 2 weeks ago, we were clapping them off against Spurs, or last week, was it? And how great.
Exactly.
We took the Champions League side to the limit. And in the space of 1 week, we're the worst team since, the Hooten days. I mean, it's just the way fans think. It's just, and again, it's just the way, yeah.
But you've got to be honest and say yesterday was awful. But Cooper knows that. He knows that was.
He said it himself. He said it himself.
That is probably the worst performance by everyone associated with the club. Really,
Matt. Let me say something right. And I don't want to mention this game again. When we played Stoke away and we lost 1-0, can people remember what Chris Hughton said? We wasn't that bad. I went myself, what? What was he watching? Steve Cooper is honest. He's honest. He said it after his game against Bournemouth. We were rubbish. Simple as that. We were rubbish. And the buck stops with him. I don't want to see someone like Chris Hughton saying, we was good first half. We didn't test it. I'm sorry, people, but it's just what this is what I love about Steve Cooper. He's honest, and Marinakis has done what he did. He has to do back Steve Cooper, and he's done it. It's going to take time.
Yesterday was like we were run over by a car. It's like someone's been run over by a car in front of you. They're lying on the street, and what do? You've got to pick them up, haven't you? You've got to pick them up and help them get up again. Don't go over and kick them and tell them how they've just been run over and stuff. You've got to heal things, Everyone at Forest hurts right now, whether it's us, whether it's Marinakis, whether it's Cooper, whether it's the players, whether it's all the backroom staff. All of them absolutely felt sick yesterday. They know. They don't need telling. They need rehabilitating, and we've all got to help each other. We're all in this together.
But I think Cooper may take the Ten Hag approach now for United, because they mentioned something after the game earlier on with the Arsenal game. They asked him about, after that 4-0 drubbing against Brentford, how he's picked them back up. And what they were trying to say was, it's just making them hard to beat. I think after this now, Cooper will watch that and go, right, okay, take away all the fancy stuff. We're just going to be hard to beat now. And just if we have to get more ugly, then so be it. If it means then getting a base back and starting again, because, we don't have to play pretty football all the time. As long as we get a base to kick us on, just crack on. It doesn't have to be all these fancy football. No. Just be hard to beat first. Get the defence sorted now. Stop leaking goals, and then I'm sure our attack will come on. So
we have to find a system that basically just functions.
Which Man United have now found. That's what they're trying to. That's what making that point. He's found a system now, which Man United didn't playing great, but after that drubbing they had against Brentford, he had to change the system. Now they're in the similar. Now they dropped Maguire. Now they're in the same dilemma with Worrell. Like you said, Matt. Do we drop Worrell just for the sake of the team? But again, it's down to personal choice, and it's down to Cooper at the end of the day as well.
I wasn't saying I would never drop him in a million years, but
I'm the same. I wouldn't drop Worrell because I wouldn't.
No. It's everyone's struggling. It's not easy, is it? They don't know. No. They don't know what. They don't even know what they're up against, do they? You've got to kind of put yourselves in their shoes. This is absolute elite level that they've never played at before. It's tough. It's really tough. And on top of that, poor old Joe, he's the one playing a lot of the football back there. He's the club captain. He's got a lot of responsibility. And he's second probably only to the manager and some of the other coaches, taking personal responsibility for this. Yeah. And it has to kind of, discipline everyone on the pitch and keep them organised. And half these people he's only just met. So it's a real challenging job. You've got to we just got to help them, haven't we? And give them time. That's all we can do. But you're right. I think basically we just got to get a system that's functional, it works, and then we can build confidence and stuff like that. And yesterday totally didn't at all.
Before that, on this comment, Gordon, I can't see your comment, Gordon. And what one needs to be dropped. There's no time for sentiment, chaps. Do you agree with that one, Martin?
No. I wouldn't drop the captain. Sorry, like Matt just said, he's got a lot of pressure on him at the moment. Getting used to the new players in front of him and alongside him. So I wouldn't drop him. You need your captain on the field. Definitely.
He's not that bad. He's not been like any worse than a lot of people anyway. So no. You're just picking on him just for no reason. You could pick on everyone, drop everyone. Drop everyone on the weekend.
Seems to pick on Yatesy all the time. And Yatesy gives us 110%. So no, I wouldn't drop Worrell. Definitely.
But you find a lot of clubs though, they I think some of the boys who are born and bred and they through the academies, they seem to be more of a scapegoat than some other players who come into the club. Like you said earlier, Ben, we've had the likes of Osborne come through the academy. He used to be the scapegoat. Brereton used to be one of them. We've had many players through the years, and now we're having the likes of Yates. They're always the go-to people. I'm thinking, now there are 10 other players on the pitch. Yeah. Expose them. It's just so easy to pick on one player, and
I think it's exactly. It's a team game. When the team's playing well, it's really easy for everyone else to play well, and that's what we've got to sort.
And isn't it funny, right? If the team are playing really well, right, everyone's a 9 out of 10. You can never really pick up a bad player, can you? So if they were that
last season, we said that, didn't we? Yeah. All the time. We said, it said man of the match, and it was like that was the whole program. Who's the man of the match? It's just weird
now. When the 11 players are only about a 4 or 5, that one player is worse than the rest of them. They're all just equally as bad, though. But when everyone's on a 9 and a 10, you don't pick out Ryan Yates going, oh yeah, he's terrible, he is. But no, they're all 9 and 10. Sometimes you can pick out a weak link in a side. That can stick out sometimes, But it's just, I don't know, it's fans really,
It's what it is.
But it's making the whole team work. It's like, John McGovern wouldn't have been picked in anyone's team.
I was just going to mention, he used to get slagged off all the time, John McGovern.
all the
So
time.
look what he did.
No one would
And look
pick
what he
him
did.
in their dream team, but he was the first guy on the team sheet, and he made the rest of the team work. And it's not just the ugly. There's a say, oh, he's doing the ugly job, but it can be anything. I personally think right now, we like Steve said, you've got to kind of consolidate the team, but we've got to put someone up front. And I don't know how good Wanyi is, and I'm not sure how good Dennis is yet. But I think either of them, you put them up front, we've got a chance of scoring a goal. But if we're not functioning at all, and we've got the other three up there between them, I don't think they can concoct a goal if they're not getting any service or anything else is happening. So I would get it right and put a wild card up there who's a full on striker.
A bit of a presence up top as well. The three of them are two similar players.
I keep saying Niakate. I think Wanyi is a dangerous kind of character. He's been hot and cold. He definitely has. But I think he's the kind of guy that can score you a goal. And even if he doesn't, he'll give the idea he might, which is something in itself.
100%, 100. But right, before we do go, last people, there's 241 people in. Thank you for listening to this podcast. I do appreciate it a lot. If you can do a massive favor for me, just hit the like button and support my channel as well. I've got another super chat, and this is from Kieran as well. Well, Steve, it's spot on. I really want your autograph. Don't give this Welsh guy some credit, man. Like I said, like I said, he wants Steve Cooper to be Wales manager. No chance, not a chance. People in the comments, I know I always say it after at the end. What was your rating from the performance yesterday? I'm going to start with you, Matt. What was your rating at yesterday?
Don't even talk about it. I don't. 0, if you want to say. I don't care. Yesterday we forget. Yes, I've forgotten about yesterday already because there's no point thinking about it. I've forgotten.
Yeah. Okay. Price to make it quick.
Very low. Very low.
Very low.
Just forget all the game. Let's move on to the next game.
Well,
the next game is important now.
Yeah, we forget. Steve, you can do one, Steve.
Oh, the result is -10, isn't it?
Yeah. Set the bar low and they went lower.
It's worse than a goal difference. Yeah.
Right, before we do it, like I said, everyone has their opinion about it. Phil making this is a shocking comment. Send Yates and Johnson on loan. He needs to stop telling players what to do. He isn't a.
He's the vice captain.
Phil, please, come on. That's just a stupid comment. Sorry, Phil. Thank you for watching this channel, but come on, Phil.
Tune into another station.
Yeah, go on to Match Day Max or something like that. I don't know, but Max, don't cry. I'm joking. But yeah, people, like I said, it's been a great show. Thank you for everyone that come on the show. Des, I know he got married, but he is doing his dialing with Des tomorrow. I did tell him, Des, you just got married, but he still wants to do it. So people,
dedication.
It is, isn't it? That's what I said to him. You married, Ben? I'll do it. Okay.
Dedication.
So people, divorce 2 weeks.
Don't say that. There's 235 people in. People, any of the 234 people that want to come on Des' channel tomorrow, can you message me or Des? Anyone can come on his channel. It's like a quick 5 or 10 minute talk. Talk about Forest, anything Forest related stuff. If you do want to come on, if you're a member, please message me, please, so you can come on tomorrow. It starts at 9 o'clock. So, like I said, people, if you want to come on, message me soon as, because it'd be nice to get everyone's thoughts as well. Right, Matt, Pricey. No, before I do go, Matt, like I said, I like to promote stuff, and Matt does his, like I said, Matt's done this for me. We've done this last year for me. This time last year. Matt, do a little plug so everyone can get some stuff from you. Some merch.
I've got mine, but look.
There you go. There he is. All the old stuff. Yeah, everyone's got.
Steve, where's yours? This is shocking behaviour, Stephen. Where's Stephen?
My calendar's in the bedroom.
He's waiting for Black Friday. I've got a couple of old calendars I'm going to flog off cheap. So anyway, I'll put them on this week. But I don't know. I'm plugging away. I've been doing a lot for Forest lately, so I'm chuffed about that. I've been doing stuff for community and the education department. So you'll see that on the community page. So that's been fun. They've kept me busy. I don't know what else I'm doing. I'm just up to my neck in it. I'm going on
Busy
holiday.
person.
I'm going
Busy
on holiday
person.
this time next week for 10 days. So if you
Bloody
want
at last.
anything
At last.
to jazz up your walls because you're going on with Des or something, grab it this week. Yeah, I'm on my first holiday in 5 years now. So I'm
Yeah,
taking a bit of my own
don't come
medicine.
back. Don't come
Yeah,
back.
no, exactly. I won't be back for a while. No, I'm gonna go with the Toronto Trickies and watch a couple of games over there. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What?
That's mad. You're
Yeah,
going to
no,
Toronto?
I will. But I think Jordan's coming over here at the same time, so I'm going to miss him. So I don't know. Yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know if
So
he's
people,
going back until now.
oh, so people say if you want any merch from Matt, like I said, I put this. I don't know if I have. All you'll do is go on here
Yeah.
and get some merch from Matt. Like I said, Matt does a lot of stuff for Forest stuff as well, other teams as well. So if you want
A few
any
other
merch,
teams. There's a
Is what-
few I never do and never will do, but
Who's
do
that?
a lot of them.
Who's that?
Well, I couldn't possibly comment. I've done a few Leicesters, but we don't go down the Derby, the Flying Club way that far. But.
Right, people want to get going. It's been like I said, it's been a good stream. I know Forest lost, but like I said, people you look at the bigger picture. But we're in the Premier League, and we know one win. If we win against Leeds next Monday, isn't it? Next Monday, things could change. So come on, all of us. I know people are down on social media, but all of it is just keep your head up with Forest fans. And I believe in Steve Cooper. I'm not just saying it because he's done fantastic for us, but he's a man for us. But it is what it is. And
He's still the top East and Midland side. Anyway,
exactly, because as you know, that team, the other team, we don't care about the bottom of the league. So that's all that matters.
But we believe in all of them, not only Cooper. We believe in every single player in the squad and everything. And you know, they can all do it. I'm sure they can.
100%. Right. So Matt, Pricey, and the Welsh lot, as well, people. It was England v Wales. So England won it again, as always.
We'll see you at the World Cup.
Yeah.
We'll beat you up there. Let's you cheat, Martin. Yeah, it's been a pleasure. Like I said, Matt, Pricey, and Steve, thank you very much. And if you're, like I said, new to my channel, people, if you can, please do hit the like button. I'm on 78 likes, people. Get me to 100 likes if you can. Subscribe if you're new, people. I'm trying to get to 10K before the end of the year. So all you do, hit the red button. And as well, people, watch out for the vlog. I didn't have time to do it last night because I was at Des' wedding. So after this, I'm editing the vlog. That'll be out midnight, I hope. So watch out for that. So it's been a pleasure. Boys, thank you very much. Don't forget, people.
See you soon.
Don't forget, Des is dialing with Des. If you want to come on, message me or message Des. There's 162 people. I know one of you want to come on. Just message me and message Des, and we'll get you on. Des will still be tipsy because he was a bit lavish yesterday, but it is what it is. Right, thank you, people, for everyone, and I'll see you. What day will I see you? Friday night to the preview with Joe, Leeds fan, top guy he is. So I'll be doing live show with him on Friday.
Wayman.
Yeah.
Yeah,
top guy.
Yeah, I'll vouch for him.
Huh?
I'll vouch for him as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a top guy. But people, thank you for everyone watching. I'll see you Friday. Peace and love. Up the England.